Okay, so let's dive into the world of a clothing technologist. It sounds kind of like a dream job, blending creativity with the more scientific side of fashion.
It's definitely a fascinating field.
But what does a clothing technologist actually do? Like, what's a typical day look like for them?
Well, a clothing technologist is essentially the bridge between a design, that initial spark of creativity.
Right.
They're the bridge between that vision and the reality of actually producing it.
So it's more than just sketching pretty dresses.
Oh, way more. They're involved in almost every stage of a garment's life cycle, from the very first design ideas to sourcing materials,
Oh, okay.
then overseeing the actual production process, and even ensuring quality control, making
Okay.
sure everything meets the standards.
So they need to be across like everything.
It's a really multidimensional role, yeah.
Yeah.
They need that deep technical expertise in textiles, of course.
Makes sense. Got to know your fabrics.
Absolutely. But they also need a keen eye for detail because, believe me, those little things matter.
Oh, I bet. Especially in high-end fashion.
For sure. And just as important are strong communication skills. They'll be collaborating with designers, suppliers, production teams.
So it's really a balancing act between the creative vision and the practical side of actually making the clothes.
Exactly. And this is where resources like RoleCatcher come in handy.
Oh yeah, RoleCatcher. I was checking out their stuff. Their career guide really breaks down the specific tasks a clothing technologist handles. It's pretty comprehensive.
It is. Like, have you ever wondered how a designer's initial sketch, which can be pretty out there sometimes,
Oh, totally.
how that gets translated into something that can be mass produced?
Right.
Like, made for thousands of people.
It's like magic. 1 minute it's a drawing, the next it's on a rack at the mall.
Well, a clothing technologist makes that magic happen. They figure out how to adapt those designs for mass production while still keeping the designer's vision intact. That's their expertise.
Okay, that's so cool. So it's technical, but also creative problem solving.
Exactly. And speaking of problem solving, the guide also mentions this strong employment outlook for clothing technology.
Yeah, I saw that. It seems like a pretty in-demand career these days,
It is. The fashion industry is always evolving.
which makes sense. There's always new trends and styles coming out.
Right, so the industry needs skilled professionals, people who can really ensure quality and efficiency and even incorporate more sustainable practices.
Because everyone wants their clothes to be ethically made these days, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. But the thing is, with this growing demand comes more competition for jobs.
Right, and that's where standing out from the crowd becomes super important, right?
Exactly. RoleCatcher stresses how crucial it is to have a really strong CV and to, really nail those interview skills.
Because first impressions are everything.
Oh, yeah, especially in this field. You want to demonstrate your passion and knowledge right off the bat. And luckily, RoleCatcher has some amazing tools to help with that.
Tools? Like
Yeah.
what? I gotta know more about this.
Yeah. Okay, so they have this AI-powered system that can actually analyze job descriptions and then suggest how to tailor your CV.
No way. So it helps you highlight the specific skills that each employer is looking for.
Yep, it takes the guesswork out of it.
That's incredible. Like having your own personal marketing team?
Pretty much.
And-
Plus, they have this massive database of interview questions specific to the fashion industry, so you can practice your answers and feel totally prepped.
Okay, now that is seriously useful. I wish I had that when I was starting out. So they cover everything from building your CV to acing the interview.
They really do. They even have all these insights into the different stages of a clothing technologist's career. Like, it's different if you're just starting out as a junior technologist compared to, say, leading a whole team.
Right, that makes sense. The responsibilities and expectations would be different.
Totally. So RoleCatcher breaks it all down, like what a junior technologist might be doing day to day.
Which is,
Yeah.
I'm really curious about that.
Yeah. Or, what a lead technologist's role might look like how they manage their team and drive innovation.
Okay, so they've got a roadmap for every level of experience.
Yeah.
It's really cool how they've thought of everything. But say someone's just starting out, totally new to all of this. What's like the most crucial advice from RoleCatcher, you think?
I'd say, alongside the education part, the hands-on experience is key. Internships, volunteering at fashion shows.
Oh yeah, that's a great way to get your foot in the door.
Definitely. Or even collaborating with local designers. That real-world experience, it just makes you stand out.
It shows you're serious, that you're not just all talk.
And it gives you a chance to apply what you're learning, which is so valuable.
For sure. And it kind of proves you've got that passion, that drive to succeed in a competitive field.
Exactly. And that passion's going to take you far in this industry.
So it's not just about knowing your fabrics. It's about really immersing yourself in the world of fashion.
100%. They're kind of like an apprentice, learning all the tricks of the trade from the more experienced team members. RoleCatcher really emphasizes the hands-on nature of this role.
So it's a real learning experience.
It is. You're assisting with all sorts of tasks to get a feel for the entire production process.
Okay, so walk me through a typical day. What are some specific things a junior clothing technologist might be doing?
Well, one of the key things RoleCatcher highlights is assisting with quality control checks.
That makes sense. Got to make sure those garments are top-notch.
Right. So imagine you're examining fabrics for any imperfections.
Ooh, looking for snags and stuff.
Exactly. Or checking seems to make sure they're strong and secure, and then making sure that all the measurements of a garment, like the sleeves, the bodice,
Yeah.
that they all align perfectly with the original design specifications.
So they're like the guardians of quality control, making sure everything's perfect before it moves on to the next stage.
Exactly. And they're also likely to be involved in creating those early sample garments, those prototypes.
Oh, yeah. The first versions of a design, the ones that designers use to see how their ideas actually translate into a physical garment.
Yes. It's like seeing the design come to life in 3D.
That must be so cool to be a part of that creative process.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the hands-on creation either. Junior technologists might also get involved in researching different fabrics and trims.
Oh, so they need to know their stuff about different materials.
Yeah, they might be comparing suppliers, looking for the best quality at the best price.
Right. Got to keep an eye on the budget, too.
Always.
Yeah.
And they might even help to adapt those initial design sketches, the ones that designers come up with.
Which can be pretty out there sometimes.
They can be. But the junior technologist helps to translate those into technical drawings, the kind that the production team can actually understand and work with.
So they're like the interpreters between the designers and the people who actually make the clothes.
That's a great way to put it. So yeah, it's a fantastic way to gain a really broad understanding of the industry,
Yeah, starting from the ground up, learning all the different aspects.
Exactly.
So once a junior clothing technologist has, paid their dues, gained some solid experience,
Right.
what's the next step for them? Where do they go from there?
That's when they might transition into the role of simply clothing technologists.
Ah, so no more junior title. They've officially leveled up.
Exactly. They've got some experience under their belt now. And with that comes more responsibility and often more of a leadership role.
So what changes exactly when you make that jump from junior clothing technologist to just, clothing technologist? What are they doing differently?
One of the big shifts is moving from assisting to managing. So according to RoleCatcher, at this stage, they might be overseeing the design and development of, whole product lines.
Wow. Okay. So from that initial concept all the way through to the final product that's ready for production.
Yeah.
The whole shebang. And they're conducting more in-depth technical investigations.
Oh, so it's not just about identifying problems anymore.
It's about actively seeking out solutions. How can we improve efficiency? How can we make the quality even better?
Right, because at that level, one little problem could have a huge ripple effect on the entire production process.
Exactly. Remember those seam issues we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the ones a junior technologist might analyze.
Right. Well, at this level, the clothing technologist might be tasked with figuring out a way to, reinforce that seam across an entire production run.
Wow.
So it doesn't become a recurring problem.
So it's about preventing those issues in the first place, not just fixing them after the fact.
Exactly. It's about using your expertise to improve things on a larger scale. And I imagine communication skills become even more critical at this stage.
Oh, I bet. Because now you're the one who has to wrangle all the different teams involved.
Exactly. They're the central hub, the liaison between the designers, the suppliers, the pattern cutters, the factory floor managers. Wow. That's a lot of people to keep happy.
It is. And they need to make sure everyone's on the same page, understands the technical specs, the deadlines, the quality standards.
It sounds like a high pressure, but also really rewarding role. You can really make a difference in the success of a company at that level.
For sure.
But what about those who are ready to, take the reins, become the ultimate boss of clothing technology?
Ah, yes. That's where those roles of senior clothing technologist and lead clothing technologist come in.
The masterminds, the ones calling the shots.
Pretty much. These positions, they offer incredible opportunities for leadership, for innovation.
Because at that point, You've really seen it all.
Hmm.
You understand every single aspect of the process.
Right. It's more than just technical expertise at that point.
So what does it take to reach that level? What sets those top-tier clothing technologists apart?
Well, it's about having that deep understanding of the industry, of course. Knowing the ins and outs, the trends, the challenges.
Like, you can anticipate problems before they even arise.
Exactly. And it's about having that knack for problem solving,
Yeah.
being able to think critically and come up with creative
All
solutions.
right, because every season brings new challenges, new fabrics, new designs.
Exactly. And then on top of all that, it's about leadership, being able to inspire and motivate a team to, really do their best work.
So they're not just managing garments anymore, they're managing people and ultimately shaping the future of how clothes are made.
100%.
So tell me more about this senior clothing technologist role. What are they doing on a day-to-day basis? So they're not just managing garments anymore, they're managing people and ultimately shaping the future of how clothes are made.
Exactly. Think of a senior clothing technologist like a conductor.
Okay, I like that.
They're leading this whole orchestra of professionals, all working together to create these amazing garments. RoleCatcher talks about how they're still overseeing those technical investigations we've been discussing.
Right, because problems are always going to pop up no matter how experienced you are.
Totally. But at this level, it's not just about putting out fires, It's about saying, okay, we keep running into this issue. How can we change our processes to prevent it from happening again?
So it's about finding those company-wide solutions,
Yeah.
really making sure those quality standards are met across the board.
Exactly. They're thinking about the bigger picture, how to make things better for everyone. And they're also nurturing those really important relationships with the designers, the suppliers, the production teams.
Because communication is key.
Oh, absolutely. They're making sure everyone's on the same page, that the communication is seamless. They might be training junior technologists, mentoring their team, or even negotiating contracts with international manufacturers.
Wow, okay, so they need to have some serious business skills too. It's not just about the technical stuff.
Right. It's about understanding the whole business of fashion.
So they've got their hands in everything from that initial spark of an idea to the moment a garment is ready to hit the shelves. Okay, but what about those who are like ready to ascend to the highest level of clothing technology? What does it take to become a lead clothing technologist?
At that point, you're not just a leader, you're a visionary. You're shaping the entire culture of production within a company. RoleCatcher really emphasizes their role in developing and implementing those big picture strategies.
So like what kind of strategies are we talking about here?
Well, think about things like pioneering new sustainability initiatives, which is huge in the industry right now.
Oh, absolutely. Consumers are way more conscious of their environmental impact these days.
Exactly. Or, streamlining production processes to reduce waste, or even researching and incorporating those really cutting edge textile technologies.
So they're not just keeping up with trends, they're setting them.
100%. They're constantly pushing those boundaries, looking for ways to innovate, to improve, to inspire. It's pretty amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's so cool to think that someone who's passionate about fashion and technology can have that kind of impact. Like
Yeah.
they can literally change the way clothes are made.
They absolutely can. And the best part is, resources like RoleCatcher are there to guide you every step of the way.
Yeah, they really have thought of everything from helping you prep for that very first interview to giving you insights into the latest industry trends. It's all there.
It is. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling that spark, that curiosity about clothing technology,
Don't ignore it.
exactly, dive in, explore what's out there, connect with people in the industry. And remember, the most important step is just taking that first one.
That's such great advice because you never know where that first step might lead you. You might be the next big visionary in the world of fashion.
You just might.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive into the world of a clothing technologist. It's definitely not just about sewing machines and pretty dresses.
Definitely not. It's a dynamic, challenging, and incredibly rewarding field to be a part of.
So for anyone out there who's ready to blend their love of fashion with their passion for technology,
Go for it.
RoleCatcher has got your back. Check out their resources, explore your options, and who knows, maybe we'll see you at Fashion Week one day.